You're not very familiar with the punishments in hell. Is it just random effects, like when it summons mobs around you? Yeah, so there are a few different effects that it can pull from, and each of the hell regions, I guess I should say, has a slightly different set of effects that can take place. So yeah, the most evident one is that one that brings in monsters, but there are also ones that will drain your stats. So it's really tough to take like brute troll into the extended late game, because you'll definitely find yourself zeroing out on stats. I guess less of an issue nowadays, but it used to be a huge issue back when stat zeros would just immediately kill you. But yeah, so it mixes up between the hells. I can't remember off the top of my head. I feel like every time I do an extended game, I end up Googling all of the branches all over again. But yeah, I do recall the different hells having different effects being true, and I think that depending on, again, what type of run you have, different hells might be worse than others in that regard. But now I'm really making myself sound like an idiot as I just mumble my way through a bunch of supposedly maybes. Really, I'm sure you can also play it by ear to a certain extent. How all that stuff goes. Let us run away. Ooh, Mara, well, we're slowed, is not good, so just gonna keep, don't notice me, don't notice, oh crap, you noticed me. Okay, Mara, what you got, you son of a gun? So let's, no, I have the +8 Demon Blade Leech, not you. You have a +4 Demon Blade of Freezing, okay. If you believed in luck or destiny or anything like that, you'd say you got such a good run today because today is your birthday. Well, happy birthday, for sure. And hey, no, I'd definitely just take that. For all you know, it is a birthday miracle, as it were. It's funny how those things do seem to stand out more when there does seem to be a bit of an internal bias like that. You're more likely to notice just how good your run is on your birthday, you know, that kind of stuff. There are so many factors that go into how those biases make us feel. But we're taking out Mara here. Let's clone him to start off. That shouldn't be too bad. And then, ooh, let's flood him. And he shouldn't be able to cast spells. This might have actually become much easier than I thought it was going to be. Wait, no, he just, dang it. He stepped out of the water and is no longer engulfed, or was never engulfed, maybe, because he's a demon. Kind of forget that demons don't suffer from the same issues us mere mortals do in that regard. Even in Zot 5, I just breezed through it, and yep, same principle as psychics use. Remember the hits and forget the misses. Post hoc ergo propter hoc fallacy, kinda. Yeah. No, exactly. I don't quite recognize them by the Latin phrases, but that's exactly the phenomenon that I was thinking about. The psychics. Confirmation biases of all kinds. Okay, let's just start blasting Mara here. Is a stone arrow any better? Oh gosh, we've gone back to our stone. Let's not do that. Like to be in statue form for this fight for sure. And oh, our clone has disappeared. Hydra shows up as well, which is not great. Are you not carrying? Oh yeah, you know, you are carrying a vampiric weapon. You must have bleach on. Bleach. Blood leech, I think, is what I'm going for. Do you know what? I'll run with it. It was intentional. We call this sword bleach from now on. But it does seem like our ghost has our sword, which is a bit scary. That one is after which, therefore, because of which isn't precisely describing that, but close. It is the basis of most superstitions. Very cool. Definitely helping me learn a little something today, which I always appreciate. Learning a little something, for sure. But yeah, no, I had a really decent talk with my brother a few months ago where we read an article on Less Wrong, which is a blog that is written by a guy who's kind of very into, like, really digging down into how we think, why we think, how our thoughts are maybe doing things that we don't want them to, that kind of stuff. But one of the first articles in his web series there is specifically about biases, and it goes, yeah, through a few of the different types of biases and some potential ways to try and avoid them, ideally. But okay, well, let's activate fly, use the deep water to reset this fight, to run away. It sucks because Mara is so close to dead. In fact, Mara is so close to dead that it makes me want to do dangerous things here. I'm not one hit away from death, right? So it's probably not that stupid. I think I'm going to Divine Exegesis. And this shatters where my eye is heading to right now. For the first time, see what it's like to throw out a level 9 spell without any of the necessary training. Let's try it out, see what the heck happens here. We kill the 8-headed Hydra, we kill Mara. Love to see it. I'll definitely take that one. Perfect. Let's even just hop upstairs for the heal. There we go. Being able to identify them is the first step for sure, and oftentimes one of the hardest steps as well, because it is extremely hard to do something when you don't even realize it's something you need to do. But I guess part of that is just also you can add on other solutions and kind of problem solving, like listening to other people and having a trusted, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for, source or friend group that will call you out on stuff and allow you to know when you've maybe crossed a line or anything like that. Because yeah, biases, super tricky. Anywho, run into a surprise Hydra from around the corner, which is always super fun. At least we're not in a horrible state besides the fact that we're a little bit slow. Oh my gosh, we're on Swamp 4. I didn't even realize we're on the end of Swamp here. Would you look at that? Just about done the whole freaking area and everything. Should be paying way more attention now that I know that we're on the rune floor and that there could have been a Liarnan Hydra jumping out at us in the middle of that Mara fight, and that would have been absolutely horrifying. Is this like Nurgle or someone? I feel like there aren't normally ghosts here. Hello? Nurgle? No? No one? Interesting. Oh gosh. Come on, you tree witch. There we go. Perfect. Elanomia down. Might just be that we have a bit of an undead theme here. Those are dead trees, which you also don't normally see. Huh. Yeah, it sounds like your examples are more of in a social aspect. When you think of biases, I think of them in the scientific sense, such as trying to eliminate them when conducting studies or experiments. Funny how people think differently. No, exactly. Yeah. That is a very interesting point, and I do love that people think differently like that, because it's what allows us to come at things from different perspectives. I definitely totally get where you're coming from, because I definitely have used biases in that respect as well in my classes at uni, but that is an important distinction to make for sure. Jeez Louise, oops, I'm chopping a bunch of heads off this Hydra. Let's instead turn that buddy to stone, blow it up. It does seem like, yeah, we got a weird undead theme to this floor. I'm not sure how many more of those zombies and ghosts we'll run into, but it is interesting for sure. If only we didn't have such a broken economic system, people could have more time to be creative and collaborate and make the world better, right? Ideally, like a perfect utopian society where nobody ever had to work whatsoever. would be incredible because we could spend all day just, yeah, chatting to each other and learning about each other's perspectives. You don't have to spend so much of your day struggling and worried about your own life and safety and security and whatnot. Definitely would be a dream, for sure. It's kind of how even my ideal situation that's similarly related to that is that if I could just be given enough money to make it through the rest of my life, and I guess some extra for what I'm about to say, I would probably find myself just going to university for the rest of my life. If I could just like take intro courses in a variety of subjects for free, or not have to worry about the financial burden of schooling, then I would probably do that the rest of my life. It's just so fun to learn new things. Jeez Louise, 24-headed Hydra. Quite a pain in the butt here. Even if you only had to work 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and we're still able to survive financially. Yeah, no, that's very true. And dude, you can do that on YouTube. I've been doing it for 8 years. That is very true. Oh geez, am I gonna die in one turn? What the heck? I know you're fast, but how did you hit me so many times so quick? Whew. Let's not die in one turn though. Instead, I think what I shall do is blink away, start channeling mana. Not great odds of freezing you in your tracks, and Volley of Thorns is still going to be scary, so let's get some health under our belt here. You have to go find your own curriculum so you can do example problems and such, but the lectures are there. That's very fair, yeah. I think in that regard, my worst enemy is myself, because my motivation is where I start to struggle, and keeping myself to that is where I'd maybe start to run into problems. But in general, I definitely agree that that is one of the beauties of the modern world, is being able to look all that stuff up. Because even I really enjoy a lot of the online courses that you can take. I'm blanking on the top of my head now as I'm trying to think of how to survive this Thorn Hunter, but Udemy might be a paid thing. Khan Academy, there we go. That's what my brain was trying to come up to. But yeah, stuff like Khan Academy, where they have full curriculums and stuff like that, and assignments even. I guess you usually still have to do the marking and whatnot yourself, but all that stuff is absolutely incredible resource-wise, and gives a lot of really cool options for just, if you want to, yeah, just learn stuff in your spare time. Definitely. If only we had more time to invest into them, very much so. Currently, to do it, you have to make sacrifices in every other recreation in your limited free time. Yeah, fortunately, that is the case in life. Always having to min-max what you're able to enjoy, but hey, as long as you find a balance that you're happy with, that's all that really matters. I'm sure we could all use with more time in our days. Okay, let's go back into statue form. I'm so scared of this. Okay, our Thorn Hunter clone is kind of killing that Thorn Hunter, so maybe this will work. Oh my gosh, Thorn Hunter down. Okay, it looks like we may have gotten ourselves out of that pickle that I didn't even realize I'd be getting myself into, because it didn't seem like we were, Jeez Louise. Gonna lose health quite so quickly. Almost died in a single turn there. Jeez. This buddy has paralyzed, vampiric draining, is hitting us far away, and we're slightly slow at walking. Rough stuff. Let's see, can we petrify you? 23% isn't horrible. Let's back up. Let's try it out. Did not work. Rough. Well, then change of plans. Condenser vein is going to give us cold clouds, which is not great. Better than poison, though. At least not immune, just resistant, so I'll take that. Let's see, I just got a promotion, or you just got a promotion. You're about to be switching from 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, to 10 hours a day, 4 days a week, and that's going to be very nice. Awesome. Yeah, because that's the tricky part about work, is even if you're not working as many hours, or I guess, you know, you were working less hours each day previously, it seems like that could be worse, but it's so hard after an 8-hour shift, or to fit stuff before or after, I should say. No, I'm scrambling in my brain now as we overfry trying to figure out how to get out of this. But no, I could definitely am a huge fan. I know I'm blanking on where now, but I feel like there are a couple of countries that really have embraced the 4-day work week, and I love that because, yeah, I think for me personally, it just makes sense. I know not everyone's like that, and that's why it does kind of have to be situationally applied to different people, but for me personally, I would definitely agree with that. Okay, before we die here, oh, I no longer have the piety to divine exegesis. Shucks. That's too bad. Well, then I think I'm going to go for a teleport. Hope we get lucky. We definitely have not in the past, but that can all change. Potion of Ambrosia to help keep ourselves topped off here. I think I survived one more turn. Perfect. Looks like it. And then how far are we away from conflict? Hopefully they don't come running up here. Doesn't look like it. And we run to the stairs, pop ourselves up. Oh boy. Bit of a scary situation going into that fight while we were already low. Not what we wanted to see, but hey, at least that time we didn't get teleported directly into the end vault like we usually do, so that's a huge win in my book. Well done. Swamp is scary if you don't have passive flight. Yeah, I feel like my brain is still calibrated to older versions of Crawl when Swamp used to be like the go-to easy mode first rune. Like if you had Swamp on your run, there was no way you were gonna bother to go to one of the other areas first, but they've definitely done a decent job with their revamping and their changes in order to make that not quite as much of the case here. And yeah, so is Shoals. Yeah, see, Shoals I respect a bit more. I'm fully aware of just how scary it is, and I've almost died there and died there enough times to not rest on my laurels whatsoever, as it were. I mean, so all I have right now is stone arrows to fight this buddy, and it's painful. Absolutely painful. There we go. I think what I need to do for these, now that we're getting into these slightly stronger one-on-one fights, I should definitely have something else like Iron Shot at my disposal. A little more firepower, a little more oomph in that punch. And it also gives us an opportunity to remember to check in on our skills here, see where everything is going, how everything is coming along. Invocations could go up a bit. We're at 10% Divine Exegesis, and normally we do want Divine Exegesis pretty much at 100% chance to work because it's often our panic button, but still think maybe we'll leave that just for now because I do want a lot of experience going into shields and conjurations. Let's get spellcasting back on, maybe get that buffed up a little bit on the back end. Mesmerize is mean. Does Clarity stop that debuff too? I think Clarity does stop Mesmerize. I could be wrong on that, but I think both Mesmerize and the Frightened ability that the Satyrs can give you, I think it prevents both of those, but I'm not totally sure for sure. Fear, yeah, that's the one. I also just realized on our end of things here that we have our shield training not quite to the point of using a medium shield with no penalties, but to a decent level. So let's test out at the very least. The +4. I forgot that this was a +4 kite shield. Holy cow. Does bring statue form out of reach, which is unfortunate because it is kind of incredible on its own. But I think the fact that statue form almost doubles our AC is a little more advantageous for us for the time being. I'll have to wait just a jiffy here. So let us stone up and Demon Blade of Freezing. Oh, I guess should probably pick up that Demon Blade regardless. Because we do have a whole bunch of enchantment scrolls that we could apply to that in the future. Well, let's make a lot of noise here, see what else we can pull out. But yes, could definitely use that in the future and buff it up. Guess no real necessity to have it on us at all times at the very least. But here we go. Iron Shot. You know what, I feel like the bush is going to be in the way and it's going to get hit, but let's go for it. I feel like Iron Shot is finally going to get its chance to prove why we need it in the future here. And that's already definitely looking a lot better than our last encounter with a Thorn Hunter here. Could also end up being a key to a treasure trove. Very true. I mean, no matter what, it's sitting there waiting for us. At the very least. And this time we have no mana to fight this Thorn Hunter. Gosh darn it. Could channel mana. We are burning through piety is the issue here, but I think that is slightly necessary just to ensure that we get through this in one piece. Let's make sure we can launch out our strongest spells ad nauseum there. Perfect. Run away a wee bit. Heal up. And there we go. Spirit's still wandering about. Oh gosh, bad time to rage. Right as we get the killing blow is not when you want to be thrown off into a reckless rage like that. Oops, let's cast up again. Get moving. Another enchant armor scroll, not too bad. Okay, that's gonna be a pain in the butt. How often will this get caught by the briars, I wonder? At least one of ours last time did, it seemed. But the time worked out alright. And we actually gained piety out of that fight, all in all. You know what? Channel Magic is going to come back. I think we need it to keep ourselves alive here. And... oops, that's not right. We're a wee bit out of range, unfortunately, for Iron Shot. There we go. Get these Sons of Guns. They have high evasion, so it should help to use LRD. Definitely step away from the trees. Those almost killed us a long while back. I'd hate to see what they did to us now. I've seen many items that MP plus some set number adding directly to max MP. I've never seen anything with HP plus though. Is that not a thing or just very rare? Yeah, I don't think it's a thing that can be hit onto Randarts. Like we do actually on us right now have the Amulet of Vitality that does give a little bit of health. But in general, I think that may be something that only shows up on these unrandom artifacts. And I did just drop the necklace as well, but I think that we're pretty much through with this. Maybe I should pick it up for now, not leave it at the bottom floor of this area, and maybe instead hold off for leaving it in our pseudo stash area instead up above. Okay, you know what, Thorn Hunter, you can just come get me, okay? I'm sick of your games. Foolish games here. Perfect. Oh wow, that is exactly what you're talking about. So it is very rare? I do believe so, yeah. Definitely can be quite the run winner with certain combinations. Specifically because the necklace, I guess, also gives you a pip of regeneration. I'm pretty sure that necklace is a godsend for most, like, Vinestalker combinations and stuff. I definitely love it on any kind of these squishier casters, because it does alleviate some of the biggest issues that we run into. But alright, let's face some Oak Lobes, see how it goes. Not great, because I don't like having to walk towards them. I guess, oh, this one has LRD wall. Never mind. That makes things nice and straightforward. Jeez, never mind. That's scary again. Let's get rid of the corrosion effect. Oh, geez, this is gonna be rough. Not quite cutting it there. Yeah, do you know what? They heal up faster than we do, unfortunately. So let's just heal up all the way back up to full. And then we should go here. There we go. Just getting shot by one at a time is the smarter way to go about it. Just thought we might be able to brute force our way through the issue instead there. One down and two down. Normally just leave them behind, maybe come back for them later. I would too, but unless I am horribly mistaken, I believe our Swamp Rune is back here behind these buddies. So I think I'll push my way past for now, unless it becomes impossible or improbable to do so. And that way we will be done with the area. And there she is, Rune picked up. You'll love to see it. 2 down. Just one more to go and an exit to make. Not too shabby. And that's the whole floor too. Yeah, done exploring indeed. So let us go to lair 2. Hop up to where we've started to leave behind a tiny bit of a pseudo stash. This stairway here. And let's see. All the necklaces we're not using here. You've never had a rune hiding behind those? I don't think I have either, actually. If it hadn't been the last area on the floor, I would have gladly just ran the heck out of there. First time seeing that on my end too. Also, we've been wearing the See Invisible ring this whole time for no reason whatsoever. That's a shame. Bit too bad. But oh well. Let's check on our skills, see how close we're getting to being able to wear this incredible shield. So close. So close. And I guess with that, this fancy looking shield, what kind is it? +4, slay +3. So absolutely incredible, especially on a run where we're using leech here, or bleach as I like to call it, fairly rigorously. It would be nice to have that defensive capability along with the slaying power. No atheism, nice name. Right? Definitely runs a little counterintuitive to my character here because we're very much relying on Sif Muna to bring us through the game here. But hopefully she doesn't mind too much that just in name we're throwing a little bit of shade her way. And let us, I guess just go back out to the dungeon. Normally I would have taken a bit of a break to complete more of the dungeon. This is the first time that we've just been able to go through both S branches without too much of an issue, all in all. But yeah, let's go dungeon. I think that'll be the one. We could go down to Orc 2. We do have our elec at all times, pretty much, thanks to our statue form. But it'll probably be fairly straightforward and easy to get through the next few floors of the dungeon. We have seen visible if we need it and everything. Let's take the easy XP, shall we? And just enjoy. There we go, not too shabby. Hey Brain, how's it going? Hope your day is going well. Still somehow alive on Dream here, just barely. Definitely had some pretty close calls over the last little bit here. What else could I expect from myself though? It just seems to be how I play the game, with a bit of a risk-prone mind state. There we go. I've talked a couple of times throughout random streams about how, for whatever reason, I always want to say risk-averse when I say risk. But there was the first time that I managed to catch myself in it and very, very awkwardly get out prone instead, because that's the word I'm actually going for, Brain. Oh geez, enormous slime. How hard do you hit? 88? I guess you don't kill me, so let's... Okay, now you're closer to killing me. Let's do a couple more slashes. Okay, now you can kill me and we run. Run away. Make sure we're not heading towards a dead end. Taking a quick peek over at our mini-map there. These slimes are a pain in the butt. As soon as we get a little bit of a spacing here, though, we can try and capitalize off of that. There we go. Okay, what can we do to this sucker? Petrify it. Oh, wow. Titanic slimes. Don't see that every day. That was scary because didn't know if it was going to take a step towards me. Do you know what? I'm actually very scared in general. Let's back off a little bit. I don't like leaving enemies just around a corner because there's that chance that you walk up to get sight of it. It takes its turn to walk up or it has taken its turn to walk up and it just smacks you right there and then. Absolutely no good whatsoever. So let's try our best to avoid that as we try and blow up this giant creature. Not working out very well. So, new plan. Let's let it split. This should go much smoother. There we go. Lovely. Absolutely ridiculous. The Titanic slime is so mean. It hits for like 50. I think it hits for like 100 and some, doesn't it? Because 88 was how the level 1 below it hit. Or am I mixing up my slimes? I'm not sure how the adjectives go. Enormous versus, was it the Titanic one that was following us? I think so, right? But yes, no, very, very scary. Not something you want to be next to whatsoever. Could almost one-shot kill us, the Titanic slime, I'm pretty sure. There we go, finally get a blinking scroll back. An absolute miracle find that will most likely just outright save our lives in the future here. And, you know, I've done a poor job of remembering that I need to turn myself to stone before getting into these fights. Especially since once we become enraged, there's no option to do so afterwards. So, let's just get that out of the way, shall we? Oh, yeah, 110. Okay, there we go. And so a leech really likes to go berserk, eh? Definitely seem to be triggering her quite a decent amount here, but hey, it kind of works. We're a bit of a rage-based caster, as it were. I also just did absolutely nothing there for a few turns because I didn't see the read more prompt. Whoops. When you're in statue, are you immune to poison and curse and such? You are immune to poison. I believe you take reduced torment damage. Yeah, similar to gargoyles. And you also get resist electricity, crazy AC. It's a beautiful spell, especially on any of the classes or species that are lacking a little bit in defensive capabilities. When you're playing as like a Phalid or a Felid, definitely always want to find statue form, because with it you're basically just reset back down to normal speed, but you have the health of a normal character instead of being absolutely screwed over and like getting one shot by Luhudib crystal spears left and right. We also have quite a few of the evocables, and I just saw the water buddy down below us there, so let's go into our auto pickup and just make sure we're not gonna bother grabbing any doodlays. There we go. Perfect. And onwards we go. Put down our ring of, or our necklace of reflection a bit ago, so unfortunately we can't just let the big ol' ogre buddies take themselves out, but still not too much trouble. Let's definitely not ignore a Scroll of Fear, because I do love that as a kind of middle of the road panic button. Not always going to be usable, but can quite often be the difference between life and death, as it were. Josephine, hello. Should be just fine to deal with you at this stage of the game, and it indeed seems to be so. Not too shabby. Again, anytime I come back out to the dungeon after spending too long in those branches, it's just strange how easy everything feels. I'm used to struggling. Ooh, let's take out the orc buddy first. Is the invisible thing... Yeah, Unseen Horror is probably just slapping around behind us here. Put on our Sea Invisible Ring just to get rid of that buddy, shall we? And you know what? Yeah, let's take some of you friends upstairs as well. Pushing a boulder beetle. Which... Oh. Interesting. So he's rolling up. It looks like we'll get to hit him. Oh, I thought for a moment we might be able to target the boulder beetle, but I just realized we're targeting the door. Underneath him there. That's funny. I thought for a moment, like, oh, is this boulder beetle actually made out of rock? I thought they just had a rocky shell, but that makes more sense there. Perfect. And when you use statue, does it increase your AC proportional to your unbuff, or is it set amount? Just a set amount, I believe. Because it does absorb your worn armor into it, which does make it a bit of an interesting thing. I have a Naga Anche that I have not had the time to get back to, that's been running for a few months or something like that, that wears heavy enough armor that casting statue form actually reduces that character's AC. So it definitely feels like it would be a set amount just from that anecdotal evidence. Could be wrong, of course. But fell into a small shaft situation here. Doesn't look like we'll be punished whatsoever for it, at the very least. Got a little bit close jumping into that crowd of people, but there we go. Back up. All fine and dandy. Ain't a care in the world. And is that a second blinking scroll? Holy. Sometimes AC can go down in statue form and brain. Yeah, no, exactly. Definitely seen that. Oh, geez, that's a lot of whites. Not worried about dying, but I would also prefer not to get completely drained. I guess even just one hip of RN would probably go a long way in that regard. There we go. And switch back to evasion. Perfect. I should actually potentially make a new macro for spirit form, or for statue form. As of right now, I've just been casting it manually this whole time, but I'm gonna be casting it for every fight anyway, right? Here's what we'll do. Let's get a little creative. It's been a while since we showed off some of the macro functionality of the game here, so why not experiment? We can equal sign to change around the binding on our spells, and let's change statue form to like a capital letter of some kind. Capital P. Why not? Sure. And then, it's been a while since I did macros. Let's see how well we can do it. Control D and M, I believe, should bring up macro menu. Perfect. And let's hit enter to add by key. The trigger key shall be my 0. And let us redefine that to be Z capital P. Love to see it. Now that's right next to my Auto Explore O key, and will hopefully make it a bit easier for me to just toggle that on and off. Is Spirit Form a real spell? I don't think so. Could be cool though, right? If it was. I guess almost versions similar to that idea exist, just in the fact that in Trunk right now you can fully animate the armor that you're wearing and have it attack people. That's kind of cool in that regard, almost similar. Or Wisp form, says Psycho, yeah. Might be giving the devs some good ideas there, keep it up. Let's mark some of the evocables we don't have, as Wand of Acid is tempting to just buy flat out. Actually, yeah, a couple of them here. You know, I have a lot of money, why not? Let's grab some acid charges, because that goes a long way. Oops. Accidentally dropped it on the floor and then almost bought some random crap. That definitely makes it worth it there. I should also say thanks for the follow, Bowie. Definitely appreciate that a whole lot here. Getting closer and closer to the affiliate follower goal. So close, can taste it. But another Hydra popping up. Dang it, I got too used to manually casting statue form. Now I'm going to have issues in the opposite way, where I just constantly do the old commands. My bad. But let's blow this Hydra up, shall we? Oh, not quite. There we go. Perfect. Just enough mana with that little bit of regeneration tossed in beside it. Love to see it. And that's D13. Well done. Perfect. Guess we'll just keep her moving. I am starting to think about now where we'd like to go for a third rune. Anytime you see me start to cast a spell in the dialogue box and then it says, you don't know a spell by that, just know that I am definitely trying to cast statue form doing the wrong thing. Because I'm an idiot. But I guess what I was saying is that we're getting real close to trying to decide on where we want to go for the third rune. I'm always tempted myself to go for the Royal Jelly. Just because I feel the most straightforward fighting the Royal Jelly for the most part. If you have your plan and you execute, it's going to go exactly how you think it's going to go pretty much every time. I think Abyss is out for the most part, just because I don't want to fight too many demons or other things that will not be able to heal us up throughout the fight, since that has been such a huge part of this run up until this point. Ooh, let's hide around the corner. Jeez. So that one is potentially out, but yeah, maybe the Royal Jelly is what we'll go for. It does mean that we'll really want some resist corrosion at the very least. So that does play into that as well. And there we go. Rage honestly helped us out there a whole lot. That fight was going to be a long, drawn-out process, and instead, absolutely murdered the place. And I mean, I think I'm going to use a shield, but that's super tempting. We have a lot of sword training, and we get a two-handed sword with Vamp as well. Could get rid of this potentially game-ending rage functionality and still have a vampiric weapon. Even get intelligence and Aralek out of it. Wow. But unfortunately, I think I'm a little too dedicated to the idea of this shield of atheism that has incredible stats on it. And I can't betray Leech like that. Leech has gotten me all this way. She can get me a little bit further, right? And oh, you just noticed I ended up using your suggestion of Dream as the name. Yep, no, and somehow managed to keep Dream alive through the thick and the thin here. So you may have done true wonders with that name choice and locked us into greatness here. That's why Dread was never meant to survive. Really, all of the Draconian runs that we've had up until this point were not meant to survive. It was all building up to this. Dream, dream. You just start hearing in the chanting in the background. We all believe in the power of Dream. This looks like it's going to be our vault's entrance. Also a wizard. Let's not get banished. Okay, you're not a wizard with banish. It's good. Keeping the dream alive, exactly. Doing our best at the very least. But let's statue form. We don't have to worry about willpower with this wizard in particular. Though, of course, hyper important to panic anytime we see a wizard, just in case that ends up being the situation we deal with. And here, let us just cheat the system a wee bit, shall we? Evoke Flight to not go in the front door, because never go in the way they expect you to. That's a fool's gambit. Oh, I saw another wizard up there, so I'm just gonna preemptively put on a little bit of willpower. I'm not willing to get banished, even a little bit here. Oh, this is 0.26, isn't it? I think all wizards have banished moveset in trunk. Oh, that's fun. Now here, yeah, you don't know until they cast the first one, so I think that time, let's see, they had this spell books. They must have cast Bolt of Cold, and we saw them cast that. Actually, oh no, I guess all of these are unique now that I'm looking closer at it. I know there's some, like the Liches, that they can mix and match which book they have. Even if you see them cast a single spell, you can never be too sure. But that is definitely an interesting thing to note, so I'll have to be even more scared in the future here. So that's definitely something we've struggled with and had problems with in most of our runs in the series here, is getting enough willpower to not get banished. But fortunately, yes, we are not quite on that version for the time being at the very least. And so we will try to take advantage of that fact. Hope that not all of our wizards are just going to be banishing us left and right at every opportunity. Just constantly making myself smile a little bit at my own stupidity. But one of these days I'm going to remember it, just inherently which key I changed my spell casting macros to.